Hey guys, David Burns with you again. Today I want to talk to you about 5 tips on helping your smoker work out better for you. You know, that smoker is pretty frustrating when you're out in the bee yard and you can't keep the smoker going. Gosh, that's frustrating. So today we're actually going to take a smoker that I use all the time. Some of you have told me about the problems that you're having with it. I think I know what you're doing wrong. I think I can give you some tips today, 5 tips on keeping your smoker, like starting it correctly and keeping it going. And don't go anywhere. After the 5 tips, I'm going to give you some tips on wearing the proper protective gear. You've seen my gloves that I wear. You've also seen my bee suit, my cowboy hats that I wear. I want to demonstrate these things and show you why I like wearing different ones when I do different hive inspections. Okay, so the first thing I want to demonstrate is what some of you might be struggling with your smoker. This smoker has been used just yesterday, and if you look here, I've still got some burlap that I use, and this burlap didn't burn all the way through because I smother it out when I'm done so as not to waste it. But inside I have a lot of ash that I'm just going to dump out, and when I dump it out, you'll hear something rattling in there. And it just fell to the ground. So tip number 1 is to make sure that you have your grate facing the correct position. Now this is the item that I think is giving a lot of you some trouble, and it is actually a grate. And if you can see, it's got little legs on it that you fold out. Now these little legs, a lot of people neglect to fold these legs out because when you get it, it's actually folded in like that, and it's sitting flat on the bottom of your smoker. So what you have to do is bend those up. Another mistake when you're playing with your smoker and you're jostling it around sometimes, it can actually flip over and lay on your bottom of your smoker just like this. And when it does that, you need to make sure you put it in this way. So when you insert it, it's a little tricky. Make sure that you feel and make sure that those little legs to your grate are facing down, holding off the smoker fuel from the bottom of the smoker itself. Next thing you want to do is grab some smoker fuel. And actually what I do is I start with a very nice piece of newspaper, whatever you can use to start. Make sure all your smoker fuel and your smoker starter equipment is all safe for bees. Don't use something that is suspect to have toxins in it. And then what I'll do is I'll just start it as windy. I gotta put it down in the smoker. And once I get this burning, I'm going to reignite some of the other smoker fuel that I had the other day. What I like to do when I do smoker fuel, the burlap works so well. I'll leave a link in the description below where you can order the burlap, and I'll show you in just a minute. Start with a small piece of burlap about this size here, just a small piece. Don't poke it and force it in there. Barely place it in there. Now once you place it in there, I think it's good just to continue to smoke it and get everything burning. Now this is not your smoker fuel. What I'm doing here is I'm starting with a starter block of burlap. In other words, this is what's going to fuel my smoker fuel when I put it in there. It's only going to get think of it as a starter for your smoker fuel. So I'm going to get this burlap piece, this small piece, burning nicely. And once I've confirmed that it's on fire in a really hot way, well then I'll go ahead and put my smoker fuel in. I actually want to see flames coming out of the top of my smoker when I'm starting my smoker fuel right here. Again, I'm starting the smoker fuel, a starter. All right, now I'm ready to add more because you can see that thing is on fire. Gently poke it down to get it to go down just a little bit like that. You don't want to cram it down in there. Fluff it up again, smoke it so that you can see flames. That's critical to have flames. Take another piece of burlap, a piece about this large, and then you can just fold it up to where it's going to fit in your smoker nicely. I like to put it in my smoker kind of about like that, where I have these frayed ends at the bottom, not this side. If I use this side, it's harder to light. This side, it burns and starts igniting. Now I can't shove that in there. It's going to make my fire go out. So I just lay it in there like that. What I'm attempting to do now is get this piece caught on fire without shoving it down in there. It takes a little time. I know some of you might want to rush things. You may want to start your smoker and just get going, but you need this smoker all through the inspection. See how I just push it down just a little bit, more into where the flame is. You can also hear I am getting smoked out myself. My eyes are burning. That smoker is so good. But now you can move it down a little bit more. Our object here is to be able to shut the lid. So we're going to ignite that piece more. I've got one more piece I want to add, believe it or not. You'd think that would be enough, but I'm going to add this additional piece. What I'm going to do is actually fold it up pretty tight. And I'm going to push it down. Again, I'm not going to put it in this side first, but this side first. I'm going to work it off on the side so it's kind of side by side with the other piece that's in there. You take this, make yourself a little space, and just get it started to go down. Perfect. Now we have to ignite that with some strong puffs like this. I wish there was somewhere I could stand. There we go. I can get out of the smoke zone now. So now I'm just making sure that all these pieces that I've put in there are going to ignite. They're going to get burning really well before I close the lid. Some of you are probably closing your lid a little bit too early, and that will snuff out the fire that you have. Your smoker won't be available for you when you need it the most. That's working out really good now. We're not ready to close that lid yet. You might think you are, we're not. We need that fuel to catch on fire more than it already is. We keep doing this until we feel like we're starting to see the top pieces become charred, and we hear some flames coming out of the top. Just now, I've got flames that I can see. I can hear flames coming out of the top. When you see that, see if it'll go down just by gently tapping it. It's good. Now we close the lid. Well, the final tip is really the most important one, because you've got your smoker fuel in there. You've got more than you needed. You're done, but you're still got a lot of smoker fuel. Well, what do? You take a little piece of wood, is what I use. I guess you could use anything that would snuff out this airflow, and I just insert it into here until it doesn't allow any more airflow to pass through the smoker. Believe it or not, as you've seen when I first started, it does snuff out the smoker, and we can reuse all of that burlap. Now let me show you a piece of burlap when I buy it, how big it is. When I buy the burlap, I buy it off Amazon, and it's this size right here. It's actually a sack that you have these potato sack races in. It's very large. And so I cut it up in smaller pieces to fit the need and size of my smoker. So again, I'll leave a link in the description below where you can buy this. It's just really clean. It doesn't have any toxins in it. It's very safe to use this. Now I want to show you some of the protective gear that I use. In some of my most recent videos, you saw me shift from my cowboy hat and veil to a bee suit. So let me walk you through that. This is my traditional cowboy hat that I've used for a long time, and as you can see, I've had to improvise it. It's really been abused by me and all the activities that I do with bees. But as you can tell, this is the one that I demonstrated how to put a piece of plastic so you see better. Now this is an item that I got a long time ago, bought it off Amazon. Oh, maybe, back then it was like $5 or $6. When people start buying more items and they see the popularity of it, the price goes up. So now you have to pay about $20, but let me show you, I bought 2 of them for around under $30 off Amazon. The quality is superb. Let me show you. Here is one similar to what I bought a long time ago, and I can tell that it's much higher quality than what I originally bought. It's pretty close, but it's stiffer. It doesn't have a brand mark on it. It's very nice. But for the same price, I got this one. This thing is absolutely beautiful. Now let me show you why I like it for the same price. The chin straps, it's kind of hard to see them inside here, but this is the chin straps. Look at that, it's got a nice little way to adjust the chin strap to keep it on your head on a windy day like today. It's got a beautiful hat. It has air holes in the hat, but it has screen protecting, really fine screen. Let the air in and out, but it's not going to let bees in. These chin straps come up through a hole here and wrap around the hat, like very stylish. This is a beautiful cowboy hat with a lovely hat and veil on it. The straps are shorter and they seem to be made out of a material that's much better. I'll leave a link in the description below about this particular hat, but I really look forward to using this hat. This is a really good one, and again, I think I got it for under 30 bucks. Now, what about when you need to go to your gloves? You've seen me over the years use different kind of gloves, particularly the blue ones. Now, a lot of hives, if the weather's just right and the bees are very nice, I won't wear gloves. But recently I started wearing gloves in my last video that I made because I had a lot of work to do for quite a while. So look at these. These are actually something like gloves you would wear if you have to handle chemicals. Now, I can't make a claim, I cannot make a claim that they're sting proof. I will just say, in my opinion, having used them in really rough conditions with bees, I have noticed, for me, bees are not able to sting through this for me. I don't think the company makes that claim, and I'm not making that claim, but so far they've not stung through this for me. If you have an allergy, such as you have an anaphylactic shock, if you get stung by bees, don't trust these to save your life. You might want to pursue something differently. But to me, these are so far sting proof, and I really like those. Got them off Amazon, pretty darn cheap. I'll leave a link below in the description for that. One more thing to show you with my bee suit. You saw me go to my bee suit in my last video. Bees really were telling me to hurry up, and so I had to go to my bee suit. Let me tell you what I like in a bee suit. I like a round veil because if it's windy, it keeps the veil from smacking against my nose like a parka kind of hat and veil will. It's got the big zippers on it. Once you zip it, it's got the Velcro cover that covers where the two zippers join together. And it does not have a zipper. This is a pullover jacket, and it's got ventilation on the side like that. So I like that I can pull it over really quickly. I can bring my zippers closed after I put my hat on, just pull my hat over me, bring my zipper around on both sides, latch it, and I'm good to go. It's got really strong elastic on the wrist, and it has a little thumb piece here. Maybe some of you don't know what this little piece is, but you put your thumb through that when you go through the sleeve, and it keeps the sleeve from hiking up your arm because your thumb is holding it down like that. But this suit here with these great sleeves along with these great gloves really does make an outstanding bee suit if you need to work bees and they're getting pretty testy on you. It works really great. One of my YouTube subscribers commented, he said, "Do you have a coffee mug from Idaho?" And I said, "Of course not." And so it looks like that's what he sent me because this box is from Idaho. Now, let me tell you about the history behind people sending me coffee mugs. So people would send me these coffee mugs, and it was a lot of fun getting them. I haven't gotten any from a while. I got one from Maryland recently because I went to the state of Maryland on a beekeeping conference tour, and I actually broke my mug coming back. So someone was so kind to send me a coffee mug from the state of Maryland, and look at this mug here, Idaho. I kind of like all the different mugs from different states. Oh, there's something in this one. Wow, let's see what that is. I can tell there's something in there. I have no idea what's in here. It's a bottle of something. Oh, this, by the way, is from a subscriber. This is from a subscriber named Johnny Powell. Johnny, thanks a lot. You're a great person to have on my YouTube channel. Oh, it says Idaho Wild Huckberry Jam. Wow, look at this. Wild Huckberry Jam. I'm going to enjoy this. That's awesome. Thanks so much, Johnny. I appreciate the mug. The mug is beautiful. Vintage Series, 1890 established. I guess that's when probably the state of Idaho was established. So I'll enjoy drinking from my coffee mug from Idaho. So appreciate that. I have my address down in the description below if you want to send me a coffee mug from your state. I appreciate it. I always like cool coffee mugs. I've got a lot that you've sent me with different pictures of bees and things. So I appreciate that. Hey guys, I've made a few videos. A couple of my last ones are about making splits. And if you haven't seen those yet, I really encourage you to watch them because you might need to split your hive. We'll walk through hives. You'll like how I handle bees. You'll learn a lot. Please look at the description right here and watch my most recent video on making a split. I'll see you next time.